Hello everyone, you are on the Ramos channel. Here you can find the true passion for the #1 game. So if you love football with all your heart, don't think too long and give us a subscribe. Here we are going to discuss everything you've been concerned about. We bet that during this year you've been following the French national team at least from out of the corner of your eye. And how did you evaluate the result of their match against Switzerland? Of course, only a few of us expected that the decisive penalty wouldn't be scored by Kylian Mbappe. And what can we say? Mbappe himself didn't expect such an outcome. Moreover, no one could have thought that it was Mbappinho who wouldn't score a single goal in the tournament. How do you like the fact that after the departure of the French from the Euro, Mbappe announced that he was not going to renew the contract with PSG? Yes, you heard it right. All the plans of the Parisian sheikhs to build a powerful European colossus with Ramos, Neymar, Wijnaldum, Hakimi and other guys in the squad may collapse due to the departure of Mbappe. So why did the guy decide on his fate so abruptly? What doesn't suit him in Paris? Besides, what is the probability that he will leave after all? Don't be afraid, you will find out the answers to these questions very soon. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and give us a like in advance so as not to forget later. Now we are to say vamos and begin. Let's get going. Have you heard the unusual expression that anything can happen in football? Mbappe is another proof of this. If not to take into account the haters who are always there to criticize the footballer, the experts saw in Kylian's miss from the penalty spot a reference to Baggio and Beckham. Is Mbappe similar in significance to these legends? For experts, yes, since the gurus of the football world are pretty sure that the guy will withstand the difficulties like his famous counterparts. Remember Adil Rami? Yes, the Playboy center-back who dated Pamela Anderson. He conveyed this idea as accurately as possible in his interview about Mbappe's miss. His penalty was saved, and in some ways, it's even good. He will have to survive it. Fall, fail, be criticized. So he will be more mature and understand what football is. In some ways, I'm even glad to see him suffering, because he will win the Ballon d'Or thanks to that. RMC Sport quotes the ex-France defender. The whole season was blurry for the young Frenchman. In the last year's campaign for PSG, he scored 42 goals and delivered 11 assists. Amazing stats, right? But football is a team game and trophies are more important here than the results of an individual player, especially in France. And what about PSG? A disastrous knockout from Manchester City in the Champions League semi-finals, losing the championship to Lille? To Lille, Carl! The whole team was almost sold together with the coaching staff. Burak Yilmaz was signed there for free and became the best in the team, and they still lost to them. And yes, there were reasons for that, like the leaving of Tuchel in the middle of the season and the arrival of Pochettino, who had never won anything before. But what the hell? Losing Liga 1 with such a roster? It's unacceptable. Have you heard about the conflict between Mbappe and Giroud? We are sure you have. It happened on the eve of the year after the match against the Bulgarian national team. Back then, the conqueror of London clubs in an interview revealed Kylian's selfish actions on the pitch in detail. In particular, Giroud was dissatisfied with Mbappe's poor assistance in defense, as well as the fact that he received few assists from him in the attack, which caused the Bulgarians not to miss several goals. The next day, the 22-year-old PSG star went to a training session quite offended and tried to show his attitude towards the Chelsea striker in every way possible. We are to present these photos as proof. Not much confidence and qualities of the national team's leader can be seen here, don't you agree? Recently, disagreements with Griezmann have been added to the mix. What do you seemingly want to share with him, Kylian? You're moving to Madrid, while he is performing for Barcelona. Just be calm and play for the sake of one team. But no, L'Equipe said the young man from the fashion capital was jealous of Griezmann's influence on the national team. According to him, the matter has been going on since the World Cup in Russia. There are even rumors of Kylian deliberately supporting the idea of Benzema's return to the national team and the best results of tricolors at Euro, but because Antoine will have to play deeper in the attack. Don't believe in that story? But that is exactly what happened. Benzema spent almost all the years with Mbappe at the forefront, when Grizzy played under them and worked hard along the entire front of the pitch. let's get down to the main issue. As you already understood, after not a very successful season, which was consolidated by the failed European Championship, Donatello was in a terrible emotional state. We will repeat once again: the loss of French national title, the knockout from the Champions League, not a single goal at the Euro, and only the French Cup as a sacrifice, which is even a shame to put in the frame of such a club as PSG with their huge investments. Sooner or later, you will definitely think about a new challenge. And the credit goes to Mbappe because he was thinking of it. Before leaving for a well-deserved 2-week vacation, the guy told the club's management that he has no intentions of signing a new contract. Have you already imagined the faces of Leonardo and Nasser El-Khelaifi? Not yet? Then we'll finish it off by the fact that in the summer of 2022 his contract with PSG will expire, and Kylian, being a free agent, will be able to go wherever he pleases. Whatever it be, Real, Barcelona, or even Monza. Although, why could it be Barcelona as there is Griezmann? Okay, never mind. It is logical that in such a scenario he needs to be sold as soon as possible, and PSG seems to be ready to let the Frenchman go. According to Mohamed Bouhafsi of RMC Sport, Leonardo and others are ready to release the striker this summer for 125 million euros. Not a bad compensation for a player who leaves for free in a year, isn't it? Are there any fools who can't wait a year and take a guy for free? But more on these later. First, we will tell you how Mbappe will cause sheikhs to lose an unbelievable amount of money. Just look at what team the owners of the capital club tried to build this summer. Neymar with Mbappe at the forefront. Wijnaldum, Hakimi on the right, Sergio Ramos in the center of defense. Not a usual team, the dream of any FIFA player. Maybe sheikhs carry out transfers on this principle? Okay though, if that was the case, they would have forced Pelé to play in his 80s. Now imagine how much you can earn on selling TV rights to show matches. How much money can you raise from selling newbie shirts? PSG bosses agreed with the negligent Neymar on a contract and signed a new agreement with Mbappe's 15-year-old brother Ethan. A knife in the back from Mbappe. Did the sporting director of the club Leonardo expect that Donatello would sell him up? Okay, they had Rafael, Alcantara, but Mbappe? Never. And PSG doesn't want to allow such a scenario. Remember 2019 when Barca tried to get Neymar back? What did PSG do? Yes, they simply raised the price of a winger to 300 million euros. You can buy him if you want and if your pockets are full of cash. But now is not 2019. And in case PSG breaks a similar amount for Mbappe, all clubs will only consider them crazy. There is a financial crisis everywhere. Are you insane? But this is an effective opportunity for the Parisians to try to convince Kylian to stay for a year. And if this doesn't work out, then we will see an actual war between the football player and the club. A similar thing is happening in England, where Paul Pogba and Mino Raiola don't want to renew the contract with Man United. Naturally, we won't hide that the main contender for the forward is Real Madrid. The guy said he wants go only there and nowhere else. Moreover, what a beautiful story will turn out when he replaces his compatriot Benzema. Therefore, when Real Madrid heard that Mbappe was going to leave PSG, information immediately appeared that Madrid was trying to arrange the transfer. Florentino Perez understands that even having paid 125 million for Kylian, plus a salary of at least 20 million euros per year, he will still have the profit. Jerseys, advertising contracts, brand recognition, all things mentioned will bring money to Uncle Flo's piggy bank and will help to finish the reconstruction of Santiago Bernabeu much faster. But again, this is the perfect turn of events. Will PSG release Mbappe for 125 million? No way. Maybe for 225 million or 325, and even that's not a guarantee. For the sheikhs, the notions of the project, respect, and that they will be perceived only as a top club are more important. The top clubs don't let their leaders go while they need them. This is why Ramos doesn't believe in Kylian Mbappe's departure this summer. The guy will either sign a new short-term contract for a couple of years with the condition of leaving for Real or declare war on the club. And taking into account how he showed himself in the locker room of the national team, except to have resentment released in an obvious confrontation, he will not go anywhere. Besides, his agent is no Mino Raiola to spread backstage intrigues. What do you think? Will the deal of the century between Real Madrid and PSG will take place this summer? Will Perez be able to negotiate with Qatari bosses in the presence of his own financial problems and litigation with the Super League? Write about it in the comments below and give us a like if you really appreciated the video. It's very important for us to see the feedback from every viewer. And on this note, we are to end the release. Bama's channel was with you. Football is our great passion. Subscribe and stay with us. Bye bye!